I am an African.
With my interactions with German people and having visited Germany, I've realized that the German state has really done a good job of trying to ensure that people remember the atrocities of the past. You know, for example, the Holocaust. You know, they've made sure that their people know that this is something that shouldn't happen again. But I haven't seen any teaching or some sort of remembrance for this particular atrocity. Like, why do you think that some parts of German colonial history, as well as other colonial histories, have largely been forgotten or ignored, basically?
Your observations of German daily life today are very correct, Nathan. There is this tendency that Germany is internationally recognized, duly recognized as being a kind of world champion in commemoration of past atrocities, but focused mainly on the way Germany has dealt, not entirely voluntarily, I should add, with the Holocaust. And even the Holocaust remembrance is actually, until the very day, a contested one because it has remained to a large extent selective. The Holocaust included also mass extinction of gypsies, the Roma people, of queers, of the few Afro-Germans, which did exist then. It also culminated in warfare and extermination strategies in mainly Eastern Europe. And it's a still ongoing battle of other descendants of victim groups that they get the due recognition as the Shoah gets, where the extermination against the Jews is commemorated. But that in itself actually limits also German commemoration. It's almost like a mental block that you don't go further back because those were supposed to be the good old days.
So it's almost like Germany has too much stuff to commemorate that they want to like sort of rationalize and streamline which part of history they want to commemorate.
Absolutely, you're correct, thank you, because it's almost like colonial amnesia, where people today say, oh, please, come on, stop. How much further you want us to go back? Isn't it enough?
Yeah.
And it shows a certain asymmetry because, of course, today in Germany, because of that colonial amnesia also in the public discourse for very long, it changes gradually in the last few years, but for very long, it means that those living in Germany today, unless they are engaged in post-colonial initiatives or have an Afro-German background or other related motives, they are unaware because it doesn't feature prominently in most of the German textbooks. And they will say, but what do you want us to do with that history, which is a footnote of German history? Well, it never has been a footnote in Namibian history or in East African history or in West African history. And what is considered a long bypassed past in Germany is present in Namibia, where the majority of commercial farmland is still in wide possession.
Yeah, and that's becoming a very big issue with the incidences in Zimbabwe in the earlier part of the century, and then now recently the discussion of land reform in South Africa as well.
Yeah, Zimbabwe is a parallel process. South Africa is a parallel process. These were the former settler colonial territories, and settler colonialism did not come to an end with sovereignty because property relations continued. And while the so-called fast-track land reform in Zimbabwe addressed that in a rather unfortunate way, and for the wrong reasons, it has been agreed in Namibia and in South Africa that this is not the right way to correct the past. You need to find different ways. But in the public perception of a Herero and the Nama, the Banderu, the Damara, and also the San communities, colonialism is alive. Because they are even denied to visit some of the graves of their ancestors if they happen to be situated on commercial farmland where the farmer says, this is my private property and you're not allowed to enter.
Hey guys, if you liked that video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
If you'd like to hear more of this, check out the full-length podcast on multiple platforms, including Spotify, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcasts.
See you guys there.